we have Dr. G.V. Sabarirajan, Associate Professor of GIG School of Management Studies, to address on the topic Accounting and Taxation for Derivatives. Sir, you can take over the session, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Very good afternoon. I believe last three sessions from morning given much more input on equity derivatives, especially all hands-on experience by calculation and other aspects. To make the next session more be on light side, where this session is planned to give some basic input about accounting and taxation, especially derivative perspective. When we are talking about accounting and taxation, both these two are considering more on quantified aspect. And similarly, where the concept of derivative also focus more on quantitative aspects of, that is in terms of numbers, value, from derivative also. And wherever there is a flow and movement of financial aspect and equivalent value of money, and certainly why it is an equivalent value of money, sometime may be a chance for expiration, or sometime the contract may square off because of non-performance or non-execution also. There are differences that we are not entering. See, the point what I want to convey here ultimately, when it is an accounting, either accounting or taxation, those things need to be considered for the purpose of profit as well as the obligation towards tax authority, tax collection authority on payment of tax. That is the basic objective of accounting and taxation, especially this session from the perspective of derivative. And earlier, by believing that all the accounting standard and the way and means the system of accounting, what we are following from the perspective of companies accounting and all those things, I am taking further that by believing all, you have a basic understanding about all the accounting standard and all whatever we call it as IFRS and all those things. See here, accounting, there were some specific provisions or specific standards which were established and which were available in the accounting standard, especially standards which are related to accounting standard, which are related to 30, 31 and 32 before 2015, where all those three sections were predominantly focusing the disclosure aspect of accounting, and confined with derivative, those accounting aspects and accounting standard are given much emphasis on the disclosure part of derivative transaction related to contract and execution of contract, squaring of contract, all those aspects. Therefore, this session as an outline of accounting aspects, taxation aspect, and capital gain versus business income, by believing what is capital gain, short-term capital gain and long-term capital gain, and as well as the business income also. When we are talking about different source of income, start from salary, house property, and professional income, business income, and income from other sources. And to be specific, capital gain, long-term or short-term capital gain. Holding of contract, especially in the derivative, depends on the time period which offered, at the same time the time period which you have entered on the execution part. Either it may be focusing on the strike price or the expiration period which you are entering a contract which going to get executed at a specified point of time. With the view of these three, accounting aspect and taxation and capital gain versus business income, I am proceeding my presentation. When it is an accounting aspect, here we have an accounting standard which almost correlated with the system of Companies Act, where the system accept the accounting standard principles and norms. As I told you before 2015, where we had a standard called as 30, 31 and 32, where these three standards were predominantly includes recognition and non-recognition of financial instrument, which include the instrument which are quoted under financial category and which are quoted under non-financial category. There are separate lists which are there in the accounting standard. And measurement of financial instrument, and what basis the measurement has to be taken place in terms of value as well as time. That also will be discussing in the later part. Then derivative and hedge accounting, derivatives and hedge accounting. Whereas accounting standard 31 was given much emphasis on presentation of financial instrument, like how much you are holding and different point and part of what we call it as disclosure. And similarly, 32 also disclosure of financial instrument, whereas 31 presentation and 32 it's about the disclosure. Then you may ask the question, sir, what is the difference between presentation and disclosure? Presentation is all about how many contracts and how much volume of transaction were entered, and disclosure it's all about each and every aspects of each contract. And we all know that the accounting principle and practice here in India, it is purely governed and regulated by ICAI. And the board ICAI has announced, especially 2015, end of 2015, these three accounting standards are going to withdrawn. Because as a matter of fact, the general perspective of accounting itself, it's all about what we call it as summarizing, classifying and all those things. And ultimately it's going to end with the principle, what we know, that is disclosure, where the disclosure to all the interested party or all the stakeholder who has a concern on the system of an accounting. The perspective of each and every stakeholder may differ. From the perspective of creditor, from the perspective of debtors, from the perspective of government, from the perspective of an external authority who is looking the business in a different way. Therefore, by considering all those aspects, the accounting standard of 30, 31, 32 were more. We know that accounting standard is all about the written policy document issued by expert, and that expert accounting body or by the government or other regulatory body covering the aspects of recognition, measurement, treatment, presentation and disclosure of accounting transaction, especially in financial statement, whatever we call it as either income, position, all those things. Okay, this is what about accounting aspect. Therefore, accounting aspect perspective, derivative also not an exceptional one, that also be recorded invariably to be. How the turnover of derivatives are normally getting calculated? The turnover certainly it's about the flow of money either in both the aspects, either it is from the perspective of profit or either the perspective of loss also. See, turnover, it's all about the volume of transaction which you have entered at the time of buying a contract as well as at the time of exiting a contract. For each and every trade, what we call it as contract note. For each and every trade, the contract notes are issued which shown the value of derivative what the investor bought and sold. And at the same time, while recording the same transaction, while recording the transaction, the purpose, while recording the transaction, the normal purpose which followed on recording, it is purely based on the difference between the transaction of value. I have given an example here, Mr. X, who bought a lot of TCS contract at 4 lakh rupee and he sold for rupee 4.8 lakhs, and where he obtained a profit of 80,000. And unfortunately, same investor who bought a lot of HDFC at 3.5, where he sold the same lot for a loss of 50,000 rupees. Therefore, from the perspective of accounting, especially derivative aspect, the turnover shall be calculated either it is a profit or either it is a loss. That is ultimately the turnover is going to be 1.3 lakhs. Because somebody, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, somebody was asking, definitely either in the form of a hedging or whatever it is, one party gain certainly going to be the loss of someone. And similarly, when you look at the opponent side, when Mr. X, he bought HDFC 3.5 and where he sold for 3, it is the last to X. And just imagine some other investor who had involvement of the same lot for buying at different point of strike price, at different point of expiration date, somebody would have gained also. Therefore, the turnover of derivative, it is purely based on the volume of transaction which normally taken place in a difference of different point of time or different between is used for at the time of execution. See, where we might have studied a concept that the set of loss and set of loss. The loss of one sources can be set up through the profit earned by some other sources. We pursued with this example, the profit of 80,000 might be used for the set of loss of the 50,000 rupees. Then finally, you will come up with the figure. You will derive a figure of 30,000 rupees as a profit at individual level. That is individual level. From the perspective of accounting, the total volume of turnover is considered to be as 80 plus 50. That's going to be 1,30,000. Okay. Then. Now, just I am touching upon the basics of all accounting aspects. See, then on what basis the audit for derivatives transactions and instruments normally taken place? Normally, an audit is required as per the guideline. An audit is required if a business income and if turnover of business more than 1 crore. Also, the audit is required as per the section 44 AD, which specifically mentioned about the execution procedure of an audit. In case where turnover is less than rupees 2 crores, but profit are lesser than 8% of the turnover, then certainly going to be at 8% being on 2 crores of rupee. 8% is going to be, if I am correct, it's going to be 16 lakhs. It's going to be 16 lakhs. Therefore, 8% of the turnover and total income is above minimum exemption limit. And when the volume of transaction which falls under this specific category, I am sure that the audit for derivative transaction are essential. And transaction with profit and transaction with loss, F&O, especially F&O. In case F&O transaction which leads to profit to the investor, in that case, profit from derivative transaction, especially tax audit, will be applicable if the turnover from such trading exceed rupees 1 crore. But I am sure that those volume of transaction from a small and medium level investor, normally they won't do. And there are subsequent amendments which are also giving to the favor of the law, to the favor of the tax saving authority, which clearly mentioning that the limit of 1 crore may reduce to 50 lakh rupee. And again, when you're talking about a tax audit, which especially 44 AB and continuation with 44 AD, and both certainly will applicable if the F&O transaction will lead to profit. And how much? If the net profit from such transaction is less than 8% of 8% of the turnover from such transaction. Therefore, the point which certainly you need to understand about the accounting as well as the auditing perspective about the value, that is transaction value at the same time, and it is exceed 1 crore and less than 8% of the turnover. Okay. Then if it is loss, where under F&O trading transaction, in that case, the loss from derivative trading, since profit, loss in this case, okay, since profit is less than 8% of turnover, therefore the tax audit will be applicable under section 44AB also. Okay, this is what about audit for derivative. When we are focusing on taxation as well, certainly is any monetary value which gained by the investor either through the motto of hedging or either through the motto of any kind of a speculation activity, and certainly those volume of gain need to liable to pay tax. When we are talking about tax aspect, whether the derivative transaction is a speculative transaction, certainly, and taxability, whether as business income or capital gain. From the perspective, when we are talking about derivative, taxation is purely based on capital gain. Whether set off loss from the derivative transaction is possible, it is not possible in all the cases. It is possible when the loss are going to set off with a nominal and minimum period of 12 months, not more than that. This is what about taxation as well. Certain key issues are normally there under derivative transaction, and those are characterization of income. Very important, characterization of income, because when you are focusing derivative transaction from the perspective, or fortunately if you gain income also, and those incomes are need to get categorized. Those incomes are need to be characterized. That is business income or interest. Then determination of income. See, determination of income, it's all about the time period when you have entered the contract and the time period where the contract being executed. If it is, when focus is from the perspective of taxation, it is purely based on cash flow, not on the basis of time period which you have entered. Therefore, determination of income, there is timing or cash flow, preferably is going to be cash flow. Then let me give an example where you are entering a contract somewhere in the end of or mid of March 2022, where the contract going to get executed somewhere in the beginning of April. It is 15 or 20 or 25 days of time. Either it is a loss or either it is gain through the execution of contract. Somewhere in the month of April, when you can gain something, certainly that is a tax, that is liable to tax. Certainly that is going to be a liability part of the tax, and the same thing will be accounted on the next financial year, even though it was entered in the last financial year. Therefore, determination of income, it is purely based on cash flow basis, not on the basis of time basis. And somebody may ask question, the settlement not exactly in the form of cash, even in the form of transfer, even in the form of even in the form of transaction through banks. And withholding tax implication, then again, that's also a part of a key issue when the derivative transaction from the perspective of derivative. Okay, when you're talking about taxability of speculative transaction, then what is speculative transaction? There is an uncertainty on the part of gain. There is an uncertainty on the part of gain. When it is a taxability, income from speculation gain is taxable at the normal rate. Income from speculation are normally taxable at the specified rate, where we are talking about 30%. And speculation losses can be set off only again the speculation gain as per the section 73. And more important thing, the speculation gain also related to same financial year, to be specific on time, not based on the to be specific on time, not based on the cash flow. Why it is a time? The loss of a particular financial year can be set aside in the gain related to the gain of the same financial year. Therefore, speculation loss also can be set off only again the speculation gain as per the section 73. Again, when you are talking about trading in derivative, to be specific, F&O, see, F&O is treated as non-speculation business, even though delivery is not affected in such transaction. Because delivery, I am sure that it's not going to get affected. Majority of the cases. And therefore, that is considered as non-speculation income. Okay, these are all the general perspective of accounting and taxation aspect, where the small area which is covered now. And related to regulatory framework, we will be discussing the entire aspects of accounting as well as the regulatory system of transaction. That's it, a small 30-minute presentation about accounting and transaction. Taxation is over. Thank you. Anything if you want to ask related to this, we'll discuss. I'm sure that today the entire session from morning would have given like valuable input in terms of hands-on experience. I'm sure that we'll be having subsequent days also similar resource person from even tomorrow morning from IAM and subsequently VIT, and subsequently we have people from industry, MCX, NSE, BSc. I'm sure that we are planned session in such a way that giving some extra mile on the input which exactly you required. That's why this session given.
Yes, sir, it was very nice. Today's session, especially practically, he solved problems, and then definitely it's a very big takeaway from this FDP. And
Thank you. And
thank you for organizing it in such a professional level. Even if we had paid money, also we would have not got this much of takeaway, I'm sure. So thanks for organizers of the college, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. See, I'm sure that comparatively, because we are giving same kind of input both batch 1 and batch 2, but the level of taking this, especially batch 2, it is very appreciated by the resource person over so far we had. And Dr. Jnanendra, Professor Jnanendra also shared his experience with you people from the morning during the lunchtime when we had a small chit chat. And he already shared his all the working, whatever he did with the Excel. I will be sharing today evening with my presentation also. Anyhow, yesterday you had a long session up to 5:15, and today it is, I think it is enough. You can have your own, what could I say, settlement of time, and we'll meet tomorrow morning. Okay, and I'll be sharing. He will be sharing. Just a sec. I'll be sharing the feedback link. We can use the link which I shared now. By using the link, you can submit today's feedback for all 4 sessions. Even though Jnanendra took 3 sessions, I think you can give feedback, including mine also. And tomorrow we'll meet the next session morning from IIM Tiruchirappalli. Then we'll start the session. Any query or anything, any doubt? And moreover, whoever registered.
Sir, I just clicked on the platform. There is one thing showing after email address, option 1. What is that option 1?
Which one, ma'am?
Sir, I just opened the feedback link. After filling the email ID, it is showing in the second column option 1. So what is that option 1? In the feedback
option
form.
1.
Yeah, in the feedback form.
Yes, I am also opening, ma'am, please. Maybe time being, you can click and move with the option 1. I will confirm with Dr. Sudhamati what purpose he has mentioned that one. I'm sure that that's not going to be affect your submission. You just.
Okay, sir. So should I check that column then? Should I
Yes,
click that column?
yes,
Okay.
give ma'am. You can give.
Okay, sir.
And yes, again, one more time, I have shared day 1 and day 2 all presentation. Again, one more time, I already shared because some of I think 4 or 5 participants were filled the Google form yesterday evening. I have shared with all. Even after that, if somebody is not receiving, please bring to the notice of the coordinator, and definitely we'll be looking to that and will resolve as soon as possible. And make sure that your login will be monitored. There is no doubt on that. You can log in with your name, not with the name like see caller 39 also now available. And some of the names are not traceable, easily traceable to all of us. Therefore, my humble request, try to log in with your name. And at the end of the day, when we are not able to trace your attendance, by the time you will come with all representation that I was attending this class and that day and this day, and those things and all, please avoid. And during the session, I am sure that attending all 4 sessions for 6 hours of time, it required a lot of patience and perseverance of the topic. I am sure that there are some practical difficulties also, and the faculty who are working, and for them again it is another difficult task. In that situation, if you are just listening, and make sure that if you are just listening the lecture, please make sure that your audio muted. Please check that audio should be muted. And today we had a little bit bitter experience with the one of the participant, and directly I got a call from Jnanendra, and even I was trying with all technical difficulty, I was not able to mute, and because of that only I forced to dismiss the participant. Therefore, nothing. No, don't mistake, and make sure that those things are possible at your end. And
Sir,
we are here.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Can I ask? Yes, sir. After in the form again, after session 1 and session 2, it is directly showing session 4, not session 3. So should we submit the form like that only?
Section 1, 2, and 4, right?
Sir, like always, we have 4 sessions and we have separate columns for 4 sessions, right?
Yes.
But today
yes,
we have session feedback for session 1, session 2, and then after that we have directly session 4. Session 3 is not there.
Okay, ma'am. When you can please wait, ma'am. I'll confirm and I'll repost again. Okay, or all the participants.
Okay, sir.
In WhatsApp group.
Taken by
I think it may be due to the reason that there are 3
please one by one.
today.
Please one by one.
I'm just saying, today there are 3 experts. That's why there are 3 feedback forms.
No, there were only 2 experts today, ma'am. Mr. Ganendra sir and sir was there. So we have only 2 resource persons today. First 3 sessions were taken by the same person, and then 4th session was taken by the sir himself. So, but there are 3 forms for that. 3 sessions are there in the form.
Okay. Just hold a minute, ma'am. I will talk with the Dr. Sudhamati, please. Participants, sorry for the inconvenience. I have informed Dr. Sutamati ma'am, who is taking care of the feedback, and she will do all rectification, and she will share in our WhatsApp group. By using that, you can upload your feedback. And there is a query here. Shah, do we get the record? Yes, yes, yes. You will get all recordings at the end of the program, where we have not still circulated with the batch 1 also. We are waiting for completion of batch 2. At the end of the batch 2, we'll be sharing the recording. And preferably it's going to be YouTube kind of a thing, then that link will be shared to you all. Anupama ma'am, hope I can, I could reach, right? Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Why I asked was because today sir was explaining in Word, in Excel, all the problems. So some of them I could note down, some of them I could not. So if we have a recording, we can play and we can work out the problems along with sir. So I asked.
Certainly. Even I also used to experience like that only. In case if I would have been a participant, I would have asked the coordinator like that only. Definitely will be sharing. There is no issue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow morning. Thank you.